hear from you and etc. And yeah, hello. And I really like I like to tell you that you are like my favorite person on earth right now.
Come on, man.
I
No.
mean, it's just so that I like spend a lot of attention to music, and music is very important and like for me at this point in my life, and it just so happens that I really like the outcome, so to say, of the EP. So I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to ask you more about like you know how you have been doing like before I get into the engineering stuff and things like that.
Yeah. Um, you know, things are a bit crazy right now because I am in between moving from this studio to building a completely new studio in Athens, in the capital of Greece.
Hmm.
Because here in my town it doesn't really work very well because there are no bands, no people to play with.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to metal music. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's a bit of a very uncertain period right now
Hmm.
in general.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so many transitions.
Just like in progressive metal, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to say, okay, so what I wanted to know from you is more like this mixing and mastering like approach. Like, for example, if somebody comes to you with a demo with shitty DIs and everything like as usual, and like
Yeah.
if you can elaborate on like what do you do, like what does mixing and like you know
Well,
what it is, what is that you do, like like with the mixing mastering thing.
okay. In case that the material is a bit shitty,
Yeah.
I try to do my best with editing. I
Mhm.
mean, I've done many shitty performances, edited many shitty
Yeah.
performances. Uh, uh, yeah, and with I don't know, for some reason the DAW that I use, the Reaper, um, it's very intuitive to me, and I can always find new ways to solve problems. It's all about problem solving in general. So um, I I can do some kind of magic usually,
Mhm.
but I always prefer not to because there's always something that it's not going to be
Yeah.
optimum, and you're going to find it later in the mixing process,
Mhm.
um, and then that can compromise everything. Uh, so yeah, I still prefer not spending much time on editing.
Mhm.
Uh, and because of when you're editing and mixing and mastering and doing the production and all that stuff, you spend lots of time listening to the song again and again and again. So the brain gets used to it, and you kind of
Mhm.
uh, you can't hear the faults, the mistakes that are there
Yeah.
after some time. So you gotta be very fast, and you might lose perspective. You need to have always fresh perspective.
Mhm.
So yeah, mixing is like more many people don't want to admit it, but it's also editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean micro editing or macro editing actually. Like I might want to fix something that I can do it with automation, and
Mhm.
it's all edits here and there. So you have to not be bored actually to do all that stuff
Mhm.
because it's not sexy. It's
Yeah.
not sexy. It's sometimes you gotta take your mouse and click and make every single note to be, perfect. Or you can sometimes vocal performance, for example. It's not really editing. It's not really quantizing, time stretching and stuff. But you might go sometimes and draw the the volume automation line, and make it more even without using a compressor. We will use a compressor, of course, but it's going to react very much. It's going to react better when done like this, the compressor. And yeah, sorry, my English is not very.
It's okay.
I
understand you very well.
Yeah, we can understand each other because we're not British or American. For some reason.
Maybe, but, yeah, so like basically I understand mixing is like to do a lot of stuff with envelopes and trying to kind of match the volume, and things like that, gains and stuff, so that they are even or to the taste that
yeah,
the mixing requires.
It's one of the things you do actually, but yeah, you mentioned the shitty DIs, so I have to combine an answer with those two. And yeah, it's not only that, of course. It's many more things. And as years pass by, I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah, that's another thing for mixing here. For example, it's all about feels. It's not only the technical stuff, and it goes hand with the production as well. The limits, the boundaries between production, mixing, and editing are very blurry.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, but yeah, it is part of that thing too as well. Usually, I make a static mix at first, getting all the balances and the tones right, and then you start automating stuff.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you might automate stuff to correct things first, and then you make the static mix, and then you do other kind of automations, which are the the artistic automations, the things that will push the song to its
I noticed some of these in house of projections with this drum snare. Yeah. I remember this.
So for those who might be watching this and don't know, Armin's and did I say your name right?
Yeah, Armin's. Yeah.
Okay. Works together on the production of his EP, his first EP, and so that was about a song of his. And I really enjoyed working on this album EP. It was a crazy experience.
Well, for me as well, I couldn't imagine something happening out of the blue for the better, than what happened. So I mean, I'm very, very, very happy about it. Yeah. And I'm writing even more sicker material, so I'll marinate it for a longer time and then figure what to do with it, etc.
I'm glad it inspires you to work more on that, to
for
make more.
For sure. Like I put those tracks on, yeah, it's like some other band just came and I discovered them, it's like that quality, yeah. I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah. And okay, of course, back to the interview.
Yeah.
I wanted to more know about your personal struggles, and as you already told me, you have had significant burnouts, even though being very productive, and doing these crazy one-take covers and videos of them and all this production, and it's pretty insane. But the thing is, um, I would like to know the beginning, what was your first moment when you were thinking like that you are going to quit music? Have you had those?
I never really thought about quitting music. I knew it was just a burnout, and I needed to get inspired from other things and do some other things too. But I think it has been like my goal forever, making music and just learning how to mix and to produce and master. It is just a tool for me. It's not like my end goal to be just the mixing guy, the engineer. I have a much bigger, a bigger image, uh, and it doesn't only include music. It's art in general, and yeah. So I mean, I got really inspired by spending some time watching cinema. I mean, great legendary films. European cinematography as well. I got inspired by playing some amazing video games.
For sure.
Some
Yeah.
adventure, horror games, whatever. I got inspired by learning about photography and videography. So uh, I have many things that I am juggling all the time, and it really helps. But it can be also a bit disorienting sometimes
For
because
sure. Yeah.
I mean I mostly got burned out by making videos and having to be in the you know uh, like the typical YouTuber that
Yeah.
uploads one video per week or two, and I'm like, I don't want to do this shit, man. I mean, I wanted to go with my flow and not to try and get huge on YouTube somehow and upload shitty videos every 2 weeks. In order to
Yeah.
make a video that's not shitty, uh, I really need to spend some time on it,
Yeah.
and it burns me out really. Um, and when it comes to music, so I really got burned out when I was working as a session musician in a cover band. I
Yeah.
did that for like 3 years or something like that, and I spent all my music energy there, my my musical mana or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I got burned really, and I at some point I had to quit in order to do this, but it also helped me, and I made great friends in that journey. It was very nice. um, it also helped me make some money and buy some gear and do my stuff. But at the moment, back then I wasn't really creative. I wasn't writing music that much. I mean, no music at all. I was just like mixing mostly. So yeah. um,
So
and it's
yeah.
been it's been a while since the last time that I also sat down and recorded myself some new material. I've been like mostly improvising with my friend Kostadinos. We have a duet, improv
Yeah, I
duet
saw. Yeah. Yeah.
called Vault, and we improvise for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and we make music on the spot, which is crazy because we don't ever stop. We just keep banging,
Yeah.
and it's so much. It sets me free, because I don't have to make an album of it. It's been written. It's there. It's on tape. It's I recorded it. It is what it is.
Yeah. I can relate. Yeah, with like solos. I also improvise solos. It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Improv is best thing ever.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, so about since you have some band experience,
Yeah.
do you have like insights on how to find and communicate with like musicians to get stuff done and to kind of what is required in order to communicate that stuff?
Yeah. Good luck with that. I mean, uh, the thing that's also fun with Quote is just it's like we are just two persons, so we
Yeah,
don't have to. It's not
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
dude, you gotta learn your drum fill there. It's shit.
yeah,
No, no, we don't have that. So it's
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. My experience with bands in general has been, it was fun, but it
yeah,
also required some,
yeah.
I've always had this thing with my drummers, with all of them, which they are incredible persons and I love them all, but
Mm.
they're also, drummers. They are some their head is in another room, how to express that. Um, so yeah, there was some real. Uh, I'm searching for
Conflict?
the word now. Uh, I was their nanny
Oh yeah.
for a long time. Um, okay, so there are many tricky things with bands and persons because we musicians are like not that well in here. uh, and we have many psychological problems and we express ourselves through music, and the good ones usually have the most problems. Usually it's not like the law, but
Mhm.
usually it
Yeah.
happens, and that makes communication very difficult. So you gotta have a similar type of communication, similar problems actually, or not similar but compatible
Mhm.
problems.
Yeah. That's very
uh,
interesting. Yeah.
so I don't know how I would go about finding new people to play with. The best thing I ever done with that is just going to a jam session and just play with somebody. I mean, one of my best friends is a drummer, and we first got to play together
Mhm.
and speak music, and later we talked with words. It was incredible.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, we connected very very deeply right away just by jamming together, and it was one of the best jams in my life. So
Mm.
yeah, if you ever find yourself in a jam session, just go and
Mhm.
meet friends by playing music.
Mhm. Okay. So about more about production, like
Okay.
I wanted to ask, for example, if I'm like a blank page, if I have a guitar and I don't know how to record it, what you would suggest me to do if I want to make, tangible material of sorts, my own music, so to say. What would be the skills, like, what would you suggest, for that person to, uh, look?
I will share with you what I did, and
Mm-hmm.
so far it has worked for me. So, uh, I started playing guitar, and no computer was around or no
Mm-hmm.
interface stuff, and I was really afraid of that. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, shit, I have no idea, because all the DAWs out there were like, how I
Yeah.
wasn't, I could not understand for some reason. Uh, Although I was like 14 years old, 15. So yeah, um, at some point, I tried with. I bought a sound card, and it had like a Cubase edition with that, and I tried to to do the work, and I could not figure it out, man. I was hopeless, and so I left it. And at some point, I happened to go to somebody to record me, and it started to make sense. And then I had to edit those guitars because it wasn't his his
Mm-hmm.
job too. And I started doing that on Reaper when it first came out, and it felt so intuitive to me, to my work of to my thinking flow.
Mm-hmm.
uh, so yeah, I found my way, and at some point there were some tutorials around as well, and you could always read the manual. And
Yeah.
yeah, I started recording myself over metronome, and then the drum machine came,
Mm-hmm.
and I did some programming on Guitar Pro at first, but then I exported the MIDI file and put the Easy Drummer or Superior. I don't remember which one it was, and yeah, it all started there when I was just computing some
Mm-hmm.
drums, and recording myself over it. And the experience I had with uh, the friend of ours that did the recording for my first band,
Mm-hmm.
I had I, a good idea of what's good, what's not good, what to do, what not to do. Um, okay, so I need to record two guitars, left, right. They have to be identical. I might add a lead guitar on the middle, on the center,
Mm-hmm.
program the drums, and record the bass, and mix it.
Yeah.
uh, but it's so simple to describe right now, but it has so much depth and
Yeah.
so much
For
depth.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's easier right now with programming the bass as well. Uh, but yeah, I always prefer a recorded bass. Anyway, um, so there are countless tutorials, but
Mm-hmm.
I I suggest people just to use tutorials in order to learn the the software,
Mm-hmm.
not to learn how to mix by tutorials.
Yeah.
Because I mean there is some really great information out there, but it's very hard to find it right now, um, because there are many YouTubers that YouTubers like me, or less experienced or more experienced, but still we haven't made a huge successful album that got taken by a label,
Mm-hmm.
or we're not like
Yeah.
all these producers out there. So it's like, okay, taking an opinion from somebody on YouTube, on the internet, would might work, might not work. So I
Yeah.
always prefer like finding out myself, and of course I watch what other colleagues and YouTubers do in this regard, and always get inspired and try that stuff on my work and see if it works for me or not. But it's really easy to for people to watch something and say, "Oh, okay, that's it. Yeah, I'm doing it now," and sometimes they don't even know why they're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes it might be worse to do that. So yeah, I think the best approach is to always try it out for yourself and see how it feels first, because you can always trick yourself to believing it is something is better,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
just because it's louder,
That is the reason why I didn't interfere in like the mixing process, because I just didn't know better. I listened, I tried, and there's just like, I mean, I already listened to it so many times when like rehashing those ideas, putting them together, and etc., and then just handing and then listening. And I mean, yeah, it's really, really tough. And I mean, I don't know if it's like cultural, but I usually don't tend to like interfere if I trust that the person knows what they're doing. And it was easy to trust because you already had an EP also. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's not like if you had any, I want the bass to be lower or higher, whatever. It's, you are listening, you want something from your music, and it's like you're the listener, you're the audience right now, and you say, the audience also has a valid opinion.
Hmm.
Uh, Unless if your technical opinion is wrong, like if you are in a very bad uh, room without acoustic treatment and that has very resonant notes, especially in the bass frequencies,
Hmm.
and some notes are dead and some notes are very resonant, that could lead in false feedback. And you always gotta like cross check with other devices and
Hmm.
headphones and rooms and stuff. So yeah, but it's very common to have like mixing feedback that contains like, okay, could you please raise the vocals a bit, or bury them a bit here, or make
Hmm.
more a more wet sound, stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
There are limitations, but
Hmm.
there's also room to negotiate things,
Hmm.
and it's always for the best. I only care for the final result, not for what I really believe that it's you
Hmm.
know more nice. It's not
Yeah,
only
yeah,
taste there.
for sure. Yeah, but I mean, our taste is like pretty similar. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just so that happens. I don't know. And I was like keeping in mind that you had this XFX ring mod thing, and I just knew that you had this.
It is going to work. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so moving on, like, uh, what keeps you going, like moving on further, like irrespective to because I understand you run in a different situation than many like bedroom people, like bedroom musicians, and you're actually like, you know, doing the work and making living and etc. So what else keeps you going other than the survival necessities? From burning out,
I mean,
from recovering, like to recover from burnouts and etc. Keep going.
I mean, it's like I can't imagine myself doing other types of work. It
Hmm.
doesn't feel like I'm working. I
Hmm.
mean, I might sit here like 10 and 12 hours doing audio, but it doesn't feel, I don't feel tired at all.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think I have the less resistance possible by doing this kind of work. Um, it's much less than also doing the YouTube stuff. I felt a lot of resistance doing the YouTube stuff. I mean, at least in that frequency that it is required
Yeah.
from YouTube in order to ascend somehow in YouTube. So yeah, I, you know, that keeps me going, and also the romantic part of it. The making music with people and making friends while making music with those people, or having fun with friends, and while again making music. So I think that's the stuff that matters the most, and connecting with people from all around the world. It's also something that I really like, and yeah, if it happens by work, by making music, it's even better. I mean, music already connects people. That's how I met you. That's how I've met most of my internet friends.
Yeah,
And it will be awesome to meet all of you guys in real life at some point.
for sure. Yeah. Well, now there's like this. I don't know for how long this COVID is going to be here, but yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah, but definitely. Yeah. Blake also wanted to see me, but I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I checked your previous interview with Blake, like half of it, and
Mhm.
it was really nice. He kept going really strong.
Oh yeah, he's that kind of guy too. He's just
Very
yeah. He
inspiring
has his
dude
own
as well.
narrative. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like yeah, I'm very fortunate that I met him, especially because he was the guy who motivated me the most. I sent my shitty mixes to him and like ideas, and he, good job, you just keep going, you know. And he was trying to involve me and etc. And
Yeah,
it worked. It really worked. You know, he didn't
I'm
give up
glad.
on me. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it was that DIY musicians
Yes,
group, I
yes,
think, which now is dead, which is a bit you know
yeah,
sad, but yeah, it was fun times. We connected.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, uh, like, you have to go at like 7 or what?
Yeah, in a bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
You
maybe
have
there's some.
how many questions do you have
Well,
left?
I don't have many. I will just then ask you maybe if you have something to ask me, you know, to conclude this if you have to go like really soon, you know.
To ask you something, I wasn't prepared for that.
Maybe there's something that interests, you know, how I do something or whatever, you know.
Are you going to join a band at some?
Um, I wish if there are musicians, you know, if like I would rather adjust like and be very flexible and join some kind of dumbed down project, be some kind of new metal or something like that. And of course, I'll have my influences, and maybe I won't be able to play microtonal guitars on it, but you know, I need band experience. You know, I need something different. I need
Yeah,
more of that life to see what it's about, what are the problems, what are the gains, and what's all the valuable experience that I can suck. And I feel I'm pretty, you know, how to say, I'm ready
yeah.
for it. I'm ready for it now, like more than ever. You know, I have my ideas. I have something to put on the table. I'm willing to communicate and etc. And you know, yeah. So I would
You
like to,
should
yeah.
totally go for it.
Mm,
It's going to be, at some points it might be challenging, but it's what also makes you a greater musician.
mm-hmm,
And it's music is a language, so you gotta speak with somebody.
mm-hmm.
The music. So yeah, it's not like by playing by yourself all the time. It's not going to you will develop your own language, which is pretty impressive. But it's cool to know more languages because
Mm-hmm.
it makes you think in different ways.
Yeah, and it's also something that I'm looking for because I want to develop. Like, I don't know how far the technical aspect of my playing can be. How far can I push it? Because I haven't really practiced that a lot. So playing a lot of stuff like single stuff a lot of times, you know, in rehearsals and etc. And I think I can really excel in it, you know, and you know, because that was my one of my insecurities when I was like like one taking something. I really believe that I can do, and like actually pretty technical stuff, you know, if I put the time in it, you know, which I have available actually like two days of the week to go and practice, you know. And yeah, I mean, I'm ready, you know. We'll see. I'm worried about the stage anxiety and things like that, but you know.
Oh yeah, it's going to be shit for the first 5 minutes, but then you will.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just had a
it's very
rehearse. Yeah, yeah,
it's a very fun
something like that.
experience because when I was first playing my first shows ever, I was scared shitless, and I was like, oh, let's do something really technical to feel better with myself, and I was like swift picking like an idiot in the sound check, so that people won't think I am a nobody, a shitty player. Who's like was like 17
I don't
years old.
have that problem. I just you already have defined what we'll play, and that's what we'll play. Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
mean, I get it. Yeah, but at some point I would probably do that too.
yeah. So okay, here I am. I'm okay. Let's go. No sense at all.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it happens. But yeah, I mean, since you have to go, I will probably conclude this, and for whatever time we had, of course, I would like to go more
Okay.
into depth, but it's okay. I mean, I
Yeah,
really
we can
enjoyed.
go. We can go on private. At some
Yeah, for
point.
sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always enjoy talking to people who do something that I am more towards to like at the same path, so to say. And yeah, I mean, thanks for the EP, and
Hi. Thank you, Steve.
yeah, and I guess yeah, see you then sometime later.
Okay, bro.
Yeah,
Take
thank you.
care
Yeah,
and keep
take care
pushing.
for you. Yeah, thanks,
Bye.
man. See you.
Thank you so much.